you guys doing? I'm excited to review this what you call it? What do you call it? Jeez,
Just a trailer concept is what the
yeah,
video
there
is
we go.
titled.
Trailer
So.
concept. What a good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to review this trailer concept with you guys to see exactly if it matches up with what we have seen with the KENOBI series. So let's get it going.
Yes, this was released about 4 years ago, it said here, and it is concept trailer for the new confirmed Star Wars anthology spinoff revolving Obi-Wan Kenobi and Exile, the untold story of the Jedi Master Kenobi in the years between Star Wars Episode 3 and 4. This is by the channel called Smasher. That's a funny name, and has 1 million views on there. Don't know if they're like a credible channel as far as this kind of thing, but this was from back then, and this is post the Kenobi show. It's already done. All done and did. So this will be interesting to see if what they were going with before compared to now. So
yeah,
let's go.
And
Kind of a weird start to the trailer.
yeah, just showing his torso basically.
Like, I could barely see his face. It's like,
yeah, no, or was it hooded Ewan or Ewan hooded Kenobi? Was it?
I guess
couldn't
so.
tell.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if that was Ewan. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out if this was actually supposed to be the trailer for the movie, and they said that Ewan was also casted for that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what truth this has behind it.
Yes.
In your solitude on Tatooine, training I have for you. An old friend has been the path.
The music's a little loud, but Yoda's talking and saying, "Oh, from the lines from Revenge of the Sith, an old friend has talked to me. He's about to say Qui-Gon Jinn."
Mortality. One who has returned from the netherworld of the Force, your old master.
I think they have the music way too loud. Yoda was talking the whole time. Could you make out what Yoda was saying?
Just a little bit, and that isn't Ewan McGregor. It did not look like him. So if they were going to make a trailer and they had casted Ewan for this, which is what they're saying they did, then why isn't he
in the title here? Yep.
Where are you? Speak to me.
Is that a shot from anything we've seen so far?
That's a shot from Rogue One. They're sharing stuff from Rogue One, which is basically right basically before the Battle of Yavin. So we're going at 1 BBY or 0 BBY in the timeline. So BBY means Battle Before Yavin. So once the Clone Wars stops or the Clone Wars ended and the Empire begins, they start going back in time with the way they have their calendar, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So once it gets to 0, that means, that's when the OT basically happens, if you want to just, put it in simple terms. So that's right before. So that, I don't know why they have that in there.
So I was going to say that this is something that I see a lot of trailers do sometimes, like we talked about before. It's like before this with like the Avengers, before Infinity War came out or before Endgame came out, they're showing clips from other Avengers movies and other little things going, oh, it's the new movie coming out, but they put it in a trailer form, put some filters on it, or do some different scenes from different stuff and make it look like it's for the new movie, but it's just stuff from their 20 movies, put into a trailer sort of. And so this being a shot of Rogue One, I don't think they're telling us in this trailer that this is, in that area before for Rogue One. I don't know. I think it's just a shot they're just showing to to show stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm thinking.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Okay. And that. I know. This screams fan trailer for sure. Like a fan made trailer. Which is funny. So this is the fan film series we're doing. This is a trailer concept, not technically a fan film. It's not advertised as a fan film.
Yeah.
This looks like they're like, hey, we found some sticks in the. Let's I don't know. Let's
Is
have you
this
go out
where
here and
the Tuskens get their sticks for their Gaddafi? So when they ingest the lizard through the nose,
they showed a mighty
walk.
tree. One they showed an individual tree out of nowhere in the
Yeah.
show. It wasn't,
Yeah, so basically from what I'm getting from the lore, and I know this is concept, okay, fan concept, I guess you could say, but going back to what Disney Star Wars has shared, you know, you have to ingest a lizard, you go kind of like crazy, you get, you know,
no, you don't ingest it. You sniff it.
Well,
It goes up your nose.
yeah,
It goes up. It
your
crawls
nose.
up your nose and in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, and then so basically it makes you tolerable to the climate of Tatooine, so you could walk for miles and miles and miles to find this bush here, this tree here, so you can make your Gaddafi stick. There you go.
Yeah, sure. I just find this funny because he's just sitting, and I guess there's a little bit of wind. He's like, ah.
I don't
Why?
see him as a screamer like that. Even when he's dealing with everything that had happened, like coming to terms and, you know, having that anguish, I don't see him like that.
I can just see him going, no, like when, like,
no,
really brave. That's about it. Just that's more in the moment. That's more in the moment. Like, yeah, I don't
like
see
when
him.
you read the Kenobi novel, there's an instance where he's remembering and he can't really tell his friend Annalene, and he is at his home, you know, where his little hut home, and he has like a little corral up for his Eope. And so he's kind of telling her, but kind of not. It's very, very vague. And he's like, you can't know. And he's remembering everything. And just from his anguish and the force that he has, his hands shake the rails and the ground, but he's not screaming. Like his body's expressing it. And
he's more of a composed freak out kind of a guy.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, like even in Revenge of the Sith, he wasn't like, I can't. No, like it's just like I loved you, man. This
he did have a moment like in Revenge of the Sith novelization. My mind's going a mile a minute right now,
okay.
But so my speech can't keep up with it. But there is a moment where he does have a freak out, but it's not like this either. Where he's like, you know, I should have died. You know, like talking about what happened in Phantom Menace. I should have been the one that died, and you know, so he's going back with what ifs and stuff. You could hear the anguish in his voice, like if you listen to the audible, you know, stuff like that. But it wasn't hectic like this. It was composed. He had some kind of composure with his demeanor and stuff like that, even though he's expressing himself in anguish and stuff. And Yoda's like, knock your shit off, basically, he's telling him. But it wasn't as out of control as this is showing.
Yeah, my thing is there just seems to be nothing to cause this. It's it's a very beautiful day, and it's a little breezy, but like, you know, it seems pretty nice. It's a nice picnic day. You know, if it was like turmoil, like a hellscape of, you know, death or something, you know, maybe there's more reason. Like I could see an emotional outburst really quick, like kind of, you know, like you said, you just thinking about all these things. If this was like post a huge battle or whatever, and you just like the last one left, just like, yeah, I could see there maybe being something like, you know, just all the thoughts coming to his head. But it's like, this is a beautiful day. It's nice. You know,
maybe that wind blew him into the bushes and he landed wrong and like something went up his ass or something.
He's just my butt pimple. No. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, I'm now really not convinced. And so far, what they've shown, he said a clip from Rogue One, and him in here, and not really doing anything. Halfway through, this would be an awful concept trailer for the movie at this point, if that were the case. Wow, for their planned series.
There's a thing that swallows you.
What? There's water on Tatooine?
It holds you together when it's terrible.
Okay, pause that for a second. Where did this come from? Water on Tatooine and him drowning in it, or whatever is going on.
It's his imagination, maybe. I didn't.
No, where did that come from? I mean, okay, so if I was a water farmer, this
Yeah, I
would
guess
be,
here you
I
go.
would have like, like my army posted around this. This is where I would be a millionaire on Tatooine.
It's not only water, it's energy. You could have a wheel, and you get a lot of stuff. Water does a
Exactly.
lot of things. You know,
Right.
water is a pathway to
like
many
guarding
things.
I would be guarding that shit like it's gold.
You'd have a
on
fence. You'd have a
Tatooine.
mote. You'd have every defense around here for
Exactly. You think that Jabba would have control of that, really?
yeah or something. I don't even know if this is supposed to be Tatooine because
Yeah, I don't know
anymore.
either, but it's like it's very vague. But he's supposed to be in exile on
And
Tatooine, so
can
this is
he
where
not
I'm
swim?
assuming he's at.
He swam down to Jar Jar's place on Naboo, and it seems like he'd be a good swimmer. He's on Camino and all that. I mean, a lot of watery places.
Yeah.
He'd be okay in water.
All right.
It seems like scenes from different movies to me or something. Just weird videos. I don't know.
Yeah.
It holds you together when it's tearing you apart, and it's terrifying.
I mean, that kind of looks like Ewan McGregor. Is that
it kind of looks like him.
like that could be him? I just
There's
so far
looks different.
this is so uneventful. I don't know, but in a weird way, the Kenobi series trailer at least looked more enticing as far as things going on. I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Because look at that has his expression as Kenobi, or Ewan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The other ones I did not get. They didn't look like him at all. Like even with him screaming under the bush.
Yeah. Here though, this looks the most Ewan like I would say. But all right, let's. We're almost done, I guess. Let's.
Don't you feel worthless?
Have you done as I asked? Have you trained the boy?
Okay.
What the hell is going on right there? It looked like a biblical scene from some of the old biblical movies or something.
This is from the Passion before the death or something.
I don't know. And he's even wearing the little circular band, around the head. I don't know what it's
halo
called.
or crown or something.
Yeah, like a turban or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The way that this was framed and with the voices that were being said, it made me think, okay, Qui-Gon's next to him somehow, but not in Force Ghost form, which is odd.
And traditionally in the lore, and Qui-Gon doesn't get the training, like he doesn't fulfill the training to manifest in full form. And he can only share through his personality or his voice through the Force because of that. And another one is that he wasn't fully or strong enough in the Force to do that as well. In the Clone Wars, they do see him, but that was on Mortis, basically, which was
a super Force place or something.
Right. That was a big, huge Force nexus. And so that's why. But other than that, he couldn't get the corporeal state or whatever it's called. He couldn't manifest. Yeah, so
but it's for some visual stuff, I can see why they would do it, even if that's not what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I don't know. That's the way this is shot is weird, and then they played the "I hate you" line in a sec. So it's I don't know what they're showing, and he's burning something. I don't know.
Yeah, what the hell is he burning?
It just seems like he's in the middle of nowhere. If you were on Tatooine, I feel like I don't know, and this one sun in the set. I don't know.
And it's only there's a pyre that you could assume that's a pyre, but what the hell is he burning? What is he? I don't know.
Yeah, but if this was the concept for the movie, nobody would be hyped at this point. I would think.
Right? You'd be more question, what the hell's going on here?
What's going on here? I guess he's weekend at Tatooine. I guess chilling over there. All right.
Yeah.
Have you done as I asked? Have you trained the boy?
I mean, I like that they're showing that he's struggling through dealing with Anakin's turn and all, but man, this just seems like a lot of scenes where he's doing that, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a limited time in a way, like not a set amount of time, but you know, I'd rather. Okay, so we get that he's having trouble sleeping at night with this stuff. Great, but then there should be like something else happening, not just more thinking and pondering about it.
Yeah, thinking
That's
and
just
feeling and no action on like, like going to check up on Luke, because like even in the original lore, he did like every single day make a trip out, whether it was night, morning, or whatever, to check up on the Lars and stuff like that, and to make sure like they're not raided by Tuscans and all of that stuff. And he never cut himself off the force, because then if he's not there, he could sense what's going on still, and what would be able to respond. So this cutting off from the force in the series was very, very just like misleading and not a good concept to put him through.
Well, and you'd think he knows that the Emperor and Vader still exists, so like their power might increase as well. So even if yours doesn't match theirs anymore, it can at least keep up somewhat, and you can you'll be at your proper strength to train Luke and show him.
If the Lars can beat off a Reva,
so
they could. No, well, yeah, that was the wrong verbiage to say there. But if they could, defeat her or defend their home with that, then at least him being in in like weaker in the force in a sense because of being anguished and stuff like that, they would still have a fighting chance with him as well.
Yes, I guess I would rather it be maybe that like on Tatooine it's such a like forceless planet, and like the people in it are more scummy and skeevy, so it's like the opposite of what he's used to being around as far as light side users and stuff. And so maybe it'd be a weird, and there's been the dark hold for so many years that his and after losing Anakin and stuff, like his whole connection with it might be weird as far as like his full control and ability to use it, and that could take a little time to maybe get a full hold on again. Maybe I could see there being something like that, but that would be like in the first year or two, and then probably not ever again, because I don't know why else that would happen. And then I've read the Last of the Jedi series except for the last book. I don't know why I stopped on that one, but like that was a really interesting one. Obi-Wan's barely in it, but he's
only in the first two.
He sets off the story. He leaves the planet once, I think, in the beginning to go save the Padawan in there, and
to save the Padawan, which leads to a bigger story of making sure all evidence of the birth of the twins on Post Massa was destroyed. And then after that was all settled, he went back, and that was it.
And from what I remember, he was pretty much the like, hey, give me a checkup on what you're doing, maybe on occasion, because he's like, well, I think he recommended that he just go into hiding, but he was going to continue to try to fight the Empire, the other Padawan. And
he never discouraged them to not be Jedi either. Yeah, not like the Kenobi in the series. It's like, give your shit up, stop being a Jedi, and bury your lightsaber in the sand. It's done.
Yeah, it's like, no, I mean, keep it alive, but be smart about it. Is kind of
be smart. So don't be evident in public. And that was a struggle even in the Kenobi novel. Is him still being a Jedi without being visually a Jedi and responding like a Jedi. That was the struggle, because the reason for exile for him and Yoda was to keep the Jedi alive.
Yeah, I thought the whole point was, if we're all public about it, we're gonna get killed. So like we got to be quiet about how we still keep it alive under wraps. It's like I don't know. It's like those days when slaves would try to keep reading, the knowledge of reading or something quiet. It's like we get it, but can't let them all know about it, or we're fucked. Like you gotta keep it under wraps a little for stuff.
Exactly.
And that was those little stories were interesting with that. And then the Last of the Jedi, that was like a piece of the rebellion being built, but not the entire rebellion either. It was just like little inklings of a
that
force
was the really
against.
beginning. Yeah. And in the timeline, I think that was within 2 years after.
Yeah, it was two years after.
Revenge. So you started seeing some of like what's like Bell, even though he wasn't out there in the forefront yet, and Mon Mothma were starting to create his little cells of the rebellion, and it started growing bigger and bigger and bigger till we get to right before Yavin and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That was,
so you see the evolution of that.
So that was a good series.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm finishing with the 2 first novels. I'm revisiting them because I am going to do, a Kenobi review, but basically it's going to be the original Kenobi based post Return of the or Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Yeah.
Good freaking series. That's all this is making me think of with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, good little series. Oh, fuck, that's louder than I thought it was a second ago.
It just keeps getting louder.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the music just keeps on rising up here. Brace your ears, folks. What the fuck?
Okay, so she's hovering, and that looks like the Badlands in South Dakota, but she's hovering.
They float.
Yeah, they float up here.
Is that supposed to be like Shmi or something? Like, what, who is this?
I don't know what's going on here. What the hell is going on here?
And this looks like an awful background.
Like I said, it really, really looks like the Badlands in South Dakota. Like that's part of Pine Ridge. I'm familiar with. So if you ever seen Thunder Hearts, you can kind of get what I'm saying because you see a portion of the Badlands, but it looks like that region.
Like I guess this would be a cool piece, but this looks so fake.
Yeah.
Now this looks awful with that.
Yeah, she's just levitating. We all levitate up here.
Chilling, just chilling. Yeah, you know.
It's like.
In the middle of nowhere, just And that's the end of the trailer. Oh, wow. Okay. And okay, yeah, that was the end of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Do you really think that was you, or you think they got someone that really looked like him?
Man, some of those shots look just like him.
Or do you think they did a
not all of
reface?
them.
Do you think they did a reface?
4 years ago, I don't know how good it was 4 years ago anymore because that didn't look as his face didn't look CGI or anything.
Yeah,
so
because when you look at Tarkin and the young Leia with the reface on there.
Oh, hold on. There's a big. So when I was scrolling down here, I thought all these links was the end.
Okay.
No, that we do have information. We have information. Holy shit. I'm gonna get my glasses because I can't.
Okay, let's get this. This is getting serious, you guys. He's grabbing his glasses. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow. Let's see what they have to say. I'll have you read it. I can read it here, but you go ahead.
My gosh. All right. I'm gonna pick a random voice to go for this. This is the TV series Star Wars fans have been waiting for. Obi-Wan Kenobi is set to return on screens in a new TV show from Disney Plus. Although fans feared that plans to develop an Obi-Wan spinoff had been put on Carbonite. Okay, nice. Actor Ian McGregor, who has previously starred in the dry humor Jedi Master, has announced he will return in the role of the live-action series. It's been 4 years of saying, well, I don't know. He told fans, now I can say, yes, we're doing it. All right. Okay, never mind. This is just... no, America John... Deborah Chow. So they knew it was Deborah Chow was going to be in this.
Yeah, she was going to be the producer.
Take place. They thought it was going to be 8 years after, and not too off. Okay, down here. Okay, this is a concept trailer. This was not made to fool or scam anyone. It is simply put for fans to take a glimpse into what the series could be like. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally fine. If that was the official trailer, I'd be like, what was in your heads, guys? What?
Right, like I know what you shared with us in the actual series was god awful, but what the hell? At least you improved a little bit.
Yeah, this was before Book of Boba Fett, before Mando season 2, and maybe season 1. I don't know. Season 1 was out at that time 4 years ago. I don't think this was before all the shows. I think so. There would have been a lot of hopefuls for it. This would have been like, what are you doing? And after Solo, how long ago was Rise of Skywalker?
Oh God,
Is that 4 years, 3 or 4, 2? I don't know anymore.
I don't know, and I don't care.
I don't either. I think that was 2019.
Yeah, I
3
think
years
so.
ago.
And then the thing is like, okay, so this is what we think, like what would happen. Like we give you like a glimpse of what we feel or what we think what might happen with the direction Kenobi, Obi-Wan would be going. But my thing is at the end, a levitating woman. What is that about?
Was that supposed to be Qui-Gon?
I don't know. I mean, no, but it looks like a woman. I mean, seriously.
I thought I was like Shmi. I don't know who else has long hair on Tatooine, I guess, but it could just be a random woman. It could be anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, where did they?
pointless.
Like that was out of nowhere. Like having an image like to like him sitting down with someone that may shadowy look like Qui-Gon, and you know that I guess. But the thing is, like I said earlier, Qui-Gon basically was more of a personality through the Force, where you see his voice, than the whole image, and the whole bodily image manifested into the body. So I kind of can guess, even though like continuity wise that doesn't go, but it's Disney, so continuity
we wanted to see Obi-Wan sitting in a bundle of sticks going
yeah, I landed wrong. I have a stick up my ass.
Ouch, not again. It's worse than that Nest of Gundark incident. No.
the sandstorms, they blew me all the way out this way, and I got saved by the branches. Damn it, I shouldn't have been out in the sandstorm. Yeah, but
yeah, so I'm glad that was just a concept of a possibility, not just like, oh yeah, it's totally a thing. So though, because I was really hoping, though, I was still disappointed in that, because I was like, would this have shown like a cooler potential for what it was going to be? And then they just changed a bunch, and now it's crap, and that was just so mundane. I don't know what. All right, yeah, just chilling in the desert. Cool.
But even with this concept, would you have believed that this would be something that, or would this be believable for you as a Obi-Wan Kenobi, post Return of Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi, like in a sense? And would you believe everything that had gone in there to actually his direction?
Only just a little bit of him having some, turmoil about Anakin turning, and like, being a little depressed about it, but not for very long. Like, if it was in a movie, maybe for 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. Like if it was in an episode, you could have the episode be centered around him being bummed out, but man, you can't just sit on bummed for so long, because you gotta at least have like events in a story for bummed people are distractions that make it seem not as bummed, So like if they're depressed and you give them something, there's something they have to do, you're not seeing them be depressed, you're seeing them in action. So even if they're still depressed, like this will help. Experiences help you work out through your feelings, essentially. So he's just chilling, doing nothing. Nothing's really going to change. So I would hope it. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like 2 years. If they wanted to do 2 years as well, okay. And you're still kind of bummed about it, but then you get put in action for some reason, and then that would be fine. But I don't know. But again, the trailer didn't show anything. Just kind of showed him bummed out. So that was it. That was it. And then he burned something, and the chick was floating. That's all I got.
It's like exorcism crap, like going on there. Like something I was expecting someone to come in, and maybe that lady who was floating, her head turn around, kind of, and looking back, and
they're here.
I don't know. If anything, maybe they should have shared some like Tusken Raiders, like some scenes with him fighting with them, or protecting the Lars from them, or having a glimpse of like life on Tatooine, and
him doing something.
Yeah, instead of going around moping around like a sad sack the whole
time. In the Kenobi show, the first episode, when they start showing him, in a weird way, it was mirroring the beginning of Force Awakens, believe it or not, in a way, like where they're showing Rey like do her day to day, like before she has one line of dialogue, which I actually liked that part, where it's showing her character and not telling us everything with her yapping about it. And they do that with Ewan at the beginning too. He's like some thing that's destroyed, and they're getting meat from it, and he's like, it's an assembly line, and he's doing his job or something for it, and then he goes into town and gets some parts and gets a toy or something. Like, he's doing something. He's doing things in his day. He's not just chilling, moping. He's still mopey, but he's not just doing nothing. So it was like, okay, that's better than that's a step up from nothing. So
yeah, I mean, I'll give them that, I guess. But yeah, no, that's important for, like, no matter the story, whether you like it or not, or whether it breaks continuity or not, to show, the person in everyday life, like just reacting and acting in everyday life.
Yeah, so pretty much. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that one. That was
that was a crazy concept from this group here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed it, maybe because I'm not saying I'm being partial to the original lore, but just even knowing that with the Jedi, they train to control emotions and get over things, the attachment of emotions too, as well. I also apply this to the Kenobi series. I don't believe that Kenobi would be acting as he did 10 years later. He would have already resolved, even though he would still remember, he'd have his moments, he would have already resolved that and stay on mission.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'd say, like, if he had, like, let's say a younger friend on Tatooine or something that would, on occasion, hang around him, he might feel, like, oh shit, I don't want to be too close to this guy because he might turn evil like Anakin. I don't know. Just, be skeptical of, like, having strong friendships with people.
Yeah, and that's like, if you haven't had a chance to read the Kenobi novel, I would say read it, because what you had just shared kind of goes into the Kenobi novel of interacting with people and creating friends, and that kind of helps them out as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me, like, what should they do for a Kenobi thing at all? Like, an easy one, if they're doing the in-between time, show Luke and Beru and all them, like, in danger of some kind, like, through, whether it's Tuskens, bounty hunters, whatever you want to make. It could be loads of different types of threats that could be coming their way. Even, like, a huge sandstorm that's gonna, like, kill everyone. Like, some type of drama to have Obi-Wan get involved in some way and have events happen. Or Mahler and them talked about this idea, which I thought this would be amazing to see, is like, if he were to befriend somebody throughout his show and, like, they fight together and everything, and then at some point the guy realizes that he's a Jedi, and not just a Jedi, but Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, he was under an alias the whole time, and it's like, dude, you're like one of the most wanted people ever. And like, I'm like, he pretty much go and squeal, but then Obi-Wan has to, like, kill him or something to keep his identity secret and location and everything. Like, that would be interesting for his character, because he's such a good boy, but he also has a greater purpose that he's trying to do. So, that would be an awesome, like, dilemma to see Ewan, act out. But
yeah, and the thing is like, it's crazy how us fans can come up with a better concept than the actual new owners has done.
Yeah, well, because they don't think about concepts; they think about scenes. Like, there needs to be this many fights, and there needs to be these many. This character has to be in it this often, and then they have to figure out what goes around that, and they don't, like, that's so less important. Like, what is happening to them? It's just these things kind of these elements have to be there. Do it. Okay, whatever.
But the difference with George and what's going on now is that he relied on those quiet nuances and those scenes to get the story across. Like, the binary sunset was one, and so those quiet scenes with Han and Leia on the Falcon too. So we had those scenes where it really got into it. It wasn't about where the character needed to be at. It was in the moment of that time, and it shared a lot more story and a lot more, to the audience than going from A to B like Disney's doing with their lore.
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was, like I said, interesting, I guess. Some of them I don't really get where they were going at, other than showing him mope around. This is Mopey One Kenobi, basically.
Yes.
Mopey One Kenobi. There you go.
He swapped bodies with Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. That's all that is.
All right.